people.
Right. Let them know that there are actually healing properties in your tears.
Say it. Say it. So, to bottle up the emotions is to stifle the natural process, which is going to manifest in your body anyway. So, how do I deal with the moment? Being physically sensitive to the things that are in my body, right? Mm-hmm. I can feel my stress. Like I had no idea that stress can manifest itself in your body so much, right? But now I'm aware. And so if I'm present in the moment, I can feel, ooh, I'm a little tense there. Or my eye jumps. I know what that means, right? Mm-hmm. Or when I tingle, I used to think it was chills. It's actually God talking to me. Like if I'm around someone who's anointed, or if he's going to give me a word, or if there's something that we're supposed to do together, I tingle. And it can feel like chills to the average person, but it's not. I'm not cold. I know what that is. Mm-hmm. So that's being really present and in the moment. But also with things that are happening to me, right? Wow, this is challenging to me right now. Like this sucks that I am a thinker, and that this illness is causing me to lose my mind and be confused, and I can't write. Oh my God, I hate this. But guess what? It won't be like this always. It will not. And so while I'm in this moment, what am I learning? This is what God said to me. He said, I know right now that you are not in your right mind. RIGHT. Ooh. But soon you will be in your WRITE mind. Hallelujah. And I am in my right mind. I'm telling you, when all this stuff was freed up. Go ahead.
Ooh, and how deep is that? Because your right is the creative side too.
That's right is creative and right is creative, right? The double entendre, if you will. I know you will.
Yeah. I will.
Right. So allowing yourself to be present and in the now. When we don't, we miss those things. We miss those sensitivities that inform us. Right? And so for me, I will, you're going to get spiritual from me all day long, right? But for me, as a person of faith, being in the now is so important because I have been tasked to touch people. And so if I am not in tune to what's happening, I may miss a word that the Lord gives me for someone else. I may miss something I may miss saying, hey, how you doing? I may miss saying, this is what I was told to tell you. Do you have a moment? Can we talk? Do you want to pray? Are you okay? Do you need some help? Good morning. How are you?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful sweater. I may miss what I'm supposed to get to be able to share with someone else. And when I say to you that happens to me almost every day, that I am engaging someone and there is an impact that is supposed to be made. I may not know that, right? But I know the times when I may say, hey, this is X, Y, and Z. And they'll say, what? How did you know that? Because I'm in the moment.
Yeah, and it's the power of presence, and the power of presence of the presence of yourself, literally your physical self, so to say, okay, what's this feeling about? Like, why am I feeling? Not like I shouldn't be feeling this, but, there's that feeling again, and that just is signaling to me that I'm stressed or that, I'm down or whatever it may be. And the power of physical presence with others when you're in the presence of others and how much of a gift that can be. Not only to yourself, but to them, and you don't know the impact that that's going to have on them.
Absolutely. Just being, we are containers, if you will, right? Decanters, I like to say, but we are containers.
I like it. I like that.
We are containers, and the reason that folks oftentimes fall in love with their therapist is because we provide this safe space that feels like this warm cashmere sweater that fits them just perfectly and that is the right temperature. Even if they say they killed their cat, we're like, okay.
Okay.
Right? There's no judgment.
Right. Yep.
Right. So the truth of the matter is that not all people have that in their lives. They don't have those non-judgmental, safe relationships in their lives because everyone who is attached to them is invested. They want them to do something that they may want to do. So as a therapist, you are being present with someone in the room, fully attentive, non-judgmental, and it provides a different experience lots of times.
Yeah. Yeah, and on the opposite side of that, you also wouldn't want to go to a therapist who's not present, who's dealing with their stuff but not dealing with it. So they then use that therapeutic space for their own therapy. like as the client, as the patient is talking to the therapist, and then the therapist saying, "Girl, let me tell you," or "Let me tell you, brother," this. That doesn't. It's not in the best interest of any parties.
It's not, and interestingly enough, as a Black woman therapist, female therapist, I've had that happen. In my mind, ooh, that thing right there she just said, that could be an amazing. In my mind, in my mind, resisting the temptation, right, because I understand the boundary, and when we first started training. Our training psychodynamic, right?
Yeah.
I thought, this ain't gonna work with no Black folks. It's not gonna work with Black folks, right? And so I remember a pivotal moment when that changed, where we're allowing the space for the patient or the client to think about things that they had never thought about before, right? That silence is key. I had a woman say to me, you allowed me to think about things the way I've never thought about them before. And so what she was saying is, I gave her space. When you fill it up with time, with words, they can't be reflective in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, so if you were to give people any words of wisdom or any resources that could be helpful for them as they deal with trauma, whether it's work-related, whether it's personal and the loss of a child, or whatever it may be, what words of advice and resources would you give to them?
The one thing I think that everyone should understand is that life is really going to continue to happen. And shifting your thinking is going to be the best gift that you could ever have for yourself. Your perspective about how those things will impact you is going to be imperative. So if you lose a job, then staying stuck in what you lost, as opposed to, wow, okay, I've gained the opportunity to get a new job, or maybe I wasn't supposed to be there, but anyway, I know for me, I got pulled out of a job that I wasn't supposed to be at anyway.
Right.
My daddy said, "Get out." I told you to get out, but you are hard-headed, so I'm pulling you out because you would have stayed.
Yep.
Right? And so looking for the lesson, not that you've done anything wrong, but looking for the lesson. What am I supposed to learn from this? Especially for individuals who may find themselves going through the same thing over and over again. Right? What is that? As a person of faith, I believe I didn't learn the lesson, and that in that thing, I'm being prepared for the next thing. That my faith and my fortitude has grown exponentially. So when something happens to me, let me pull out my spiritual Rolodex. Oh yeah, that thing right there, I've done that already. Yeah, I did that. I'm good. So I don't have to, I'm not going to fall apart.
Yep.
Right? I'm not going to fall apart. So what I would say is go through the process, not jump over, because when you go through, then you have the experience and you know what it's like to go through the hard stuff. And I would say, for those of you who are not based in any type of spirituality, Buddhism, whatever it is, that you should really think about that for yourself, but also for your children. And what legacy are you living? You have to give them tools that are not just necessarily hands-on tools. If you believe only in what you see, we're in trouble. We see a whole bunch nowadays that we didn't see a long time ago, right? And if we start to believe that this is what the only thing that there is,
this is all there is, right?
All there is. That's challenging.
And I'll tell you what, a perfect way to understand that there's probably some things that we can't see is to watch dogs or animals, to watch babies they are in tune to the stuff that's happening around us before we are ever in tune or can actually tune into. Most of us, I'll say most of us.
Right. So if babies and dogs don't like you, something's wrong with
you. Right, because that means whatever you're giving off.
That's right. They don't want it. They don't even want it.
Go on and check it. Go on.
You're right. We could talk so much. I know, and I'm sorry if I've gone off topic with my stories. You know how I am.
No, you're good. But I do love the reframe of shifting the loss to a gain. You know, how do you shift the thought of this is a loss to, oh my goodness, I just actually gained something. So I love that. Are there any websites or resources, that books, podcasts, or anything that you would suggest to people as they go through loss, as they cope with and learn how to deal with whatever it is that they may be going through?
I would suggest that someone go to listen to Miles Monroe. And let me just say, even if you are not a believer in Christianity, there is a podcast, there is a YouTube video, Miles Monroe and Les Brown, but they did this kind of fusion of those two. And when I say it's powerful, so I think that you need to engage in positive deposits, right? If we stay stuck on watching the news or, and I think that we need to have balanced lives. So you need to find out that thing that makes you, your inner you, shine, that makes you feel a part of nature, that you have to find that thing here, but you also have to have a spiritual community. You need to have a professional community. You need to have intellectual stimulation. You need to have the wheel spinning in various areas of your life so that we are not out of balance. One of my most favorite books, the series, is the Boundaries series by Drs. Henry Cloud and John Townsend.
Yes.
It just helps to put things in perspective about setting boundaries, because a lot of us are doing things we shouldn't be doing, which get us in trouble. And setting limits can help eliminate some of this trauma or stress that we're experiencing unnecessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Awesome. Dr. Leca, how can people reach out to you or connect with you if they wanted to do so?
So you can reach me via email at dradleca@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find my Psychology Today profile online at Psychology Today under Dr. Adrienne Leca, spelled Leca.
Mm-hmm.
And you can, if you're on Facebook, you can find my husband and I have done a Facebook Live show. It's on the WBGR network, Gospel Network, and we have a show called Not By Chance by God that you can tap into. And we're moving to a different format, but Not By Chance by God is the name of the show.
And y'all, do yourself a favor and check it out. They are hilarious together, and they get deep, but it's not. You don't just have to be a Christian to appreciate the word. And I love how you always touch on mental health topics as well.
Absolutely.
So there's a little bit of mental and spiritual wellness in there. So yeah, if y'all ever have a chance to check that out, do yourself a favor and do so.
And one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I am announcing publicly that in 2019 my book is coming out.
Come on. Do we get a title, or is it just
you get a title? You get a title. You get a title. Come on, from trauma to triumph. 5 years of grace.
Woo! Y'all hot off the presses.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
From Morning to Action, powerfully working through
Dr.
loss.
Leca,
is a podcast based on Dr. Damon Silas's
for being
two
a
books.
part of
the first
this podcast
is From Morning to Night, Overcoming Loss.
Thank you so
and the
much
second one is
your
What's Your
wisdom,
Action Plan?
for your
6
power,
powerful
for your
ways to
strength,
get
for
unstuck
your
in your life
resilience,
now.
for your love,
Be sure to check those 2 books out on the website www.damonsilaspsychology.com/store. You can also go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or wherever you can find any books, and check that book out there. Furthermore, if you like what you hear, feel free to leave a review, and I'm always looking for guests. So please feel free to send an email to Damon at Tipping Point Wellness LLC psychologist.com.
Well, love you too.
And as always,
peace, love, and light, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to From Learning to Action, Powerfully Working Through Loss. We will see y'all next time.